There's currently so much negativity in the RuneScape community, but there are also so many things that are going right that people just tend to forget about for some reason. So I thought I'd make a video going over all those things. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on guys? My name's Jagex and today I thought I'd make a little bit of a different video regarding RuneScape and all the updates and everything that's been going well within RuneScape, because I feel like recently there's just been a lot of negativity around the whole New World event that's been released and people are just bashing Jagex for everything, and especially the developers. Let me clarify, the developers are not wanting the MTX to be in it. It's just something that they get told by the upper management that they need to add in, and it is what it is. There's nothing they can do about it. It isn't just in RuneScape, it's in any game. Just the higher ups tell them, hey ho, you need to get out money, this is how you're going to be doing it, figure it out, goodbye. That's literally how it goes for every single game, and the same goes for RuneScape. But I feel like we're kind of brushing over all the incredible updates we've had this year so far, and I want to make a full review video at the end of the year, maybe rank them, like the top 5 best and top 5 worst updates or whatever, we'll see. But for now, I thought we're kind of in the middle of the year. I mean, we're kind of 2 months over it, but I think it's a good time to actually talk about some of the great updates that actually came out, because I've gone through the list and obviously it will be on screen and I will be talking about some in more detail than others. Obviously the whole patch notes, I'm not going to read all of them. There are videos on YouTube if you want to know exactly what happened, and obviously you can just look up this page called RuneScape Wiki /w/game_update if you're interested in it. If you're going to enjoy the video, definitely give it a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. So first of all, we started the year out with the Heads Oasis. Obviously the Heads Oasis is something that if you're an endgame player, you probably don't really care for, because let's be honest, it's mainly mid-game content, and the crocodiles for the completion escape isn't the most fun thing. But it's good that the duel arena was removed and that there is some, well, there's a new agility course, which I guess probably will fill in a gap somewhere, somehow, because that's recently how they've been going about the content that they release. And it also continued on the Elder God Saga with the mini quest that you eventually needed for the quest that came along. It was also the end of the Golden Party event, which in my opinion was a good event. Obviously the Green Santa hat was a little bit worse when it came to the whole microtransaction part of it, but I think it's just been a really good. I mean, it's not the big start of the year that you want with like a huge update like how they had Nex in OSRS, but I think it was like a nice, pretty much like decent start. And we got the second mini quest, is Scattered Ninja Strike. I mean, Ninja Strikes in my opinion are some of the best updates ever. This one I'm not sure what it fixed, but it went over a lot of things relating combat UI, and the one later on that went over combat, which I also have opened up at my tabs that you can't see yet, really was pretty decent as well. It just the ninja strikes are some of the most appreciated updates in my opinion when it comes to RuneScape. From there on out, we kind of just went on to the 20-year veteran cape, which came with some controversy of people being hacked, because hackers, 20 years, maybe they've party hats, money, yeah, it's that's always something where I'm like, whatever. But the War's Reckoning event, if you don't know what the War's Reckoning event is, it is pretty much an event with no death cost and pretty much where it's a perfect time to learn PVM, really, because you don't have to pay for deaths. It's double Slayer points and Reaper points, reduce marks of war cooldown, increase luck on like the rare drop table. That's not the unique drop table, the rare drop table, and 50% more Slayer experience and infinite Elder overload. I love it. It's great, and it perfectly led into the Abyssal Breach update that came later on as well. People getting prepared to get 115 Slayer to be able to take on the Abyssal Lords. Then we obviously went on with double XP, whatever you think about it. I think it's good for the game. I made a video on it, go check it out, but I don't mind it. It is what it is. Another Ninja Strike regarding the world map, because that needed cleanup, because let's be honest, all those tooltips were horrible. Yak Tracks, Path of the Creators. Look, I don't really mind Yak Tracks. It is just a battle pass and you can complete it when you're just playing the game enough. And that's fine by me, honestly. And I love how they switched it to the skill and kill one, so you can literally do anything in the game and slowly but surely finish your Yak Track. And if you want to do it a bit more quickly, you can do the specific tasks like smith this much or get this much herb XP, get this much experience. I do like that. And when I went for max, I really enjoyed the Yak Tracks, because it just really helped me switch between the skills I still had to finish. And then obviously the Abyssal Breach coming in as well with the new Abyssal creatures and actually a new engine when it comes to shadows. If you don't know, they changed the shadows in that area and they're adding that throughout the game as well, making it look nicer. I don't think it is really showing it in this in this update. But honestly, the Abyssal Beast update, I recently went for 120 Slayer. They're really good. They're a really good Slayer task, and I think it's really nice. And obviously the Syntisan Asylum tied in perfectly with the later quest that came later on in the year. More patches, open beta for the Jagex launcher, which I think in concept, by the way, if you don't know what the Jagex launcher is, it will be an all-in-one place where you can have all your accounts just on one thing, which obviously sounds very scary because if you get hacked, then you're screwed. But they also want to get into more account security with it, more options to secure your account besides your authenticator, and have everything in one place. And by the sounds of it, they want you to make multiple accounts on your one login account. It's not really been released yet for what that means for your membership, but that could possibly mean that you could have an Iron Man and a main under your current login and have the same name on it. That would be amazing. That would actually be incredible in my opinion. But then the combat cleanup strike, which I would say is like, for now, top 5 updates, because not only did it fix some drop rates and some other things when it comes to fights, like the boss fights where it says Farago and Raksha, the elite dungeon drops have unified drop rates per clear. This includes change to duos and trios chasing those Elder's Crossbow drops. Pretty much meaning that you're not getting punished anymore for going solo or duo or trio, that whatever you're doing, if you just have around the same completion times, you're good. So pretty much making all the drop rates equal and making it actually worth doing with your friends. It also made searches, bladed dice, etc. no longer combat related when you do it outside of combat, which is incredible for clue scrolls, and sped up clue scrolls and sped up speed runs with clue scrolls a lot, which is great, especially as someone who does a lot of clue scrolls as well. And in general, all the updates that they did to the bosses, probably the best update, or one of the best updates, and to abilities and spells, etc. As I said, if you want more detail, go check it out. But I think this was one of the best updates throughout the year so far. Then we went on to retro skins, which I think was okay. I mean, it's just another cosmetic, and I don't mind cosmetics. I really do like cosmetics, and I wouldn't mind them releasing all retro skins of all the items and maybe like cleaned up with some extra shading or more details in the future. I don't mind them at all. I mean, cosmetics are just, they're there, bro. They're literally there. They don't hurt anyone. And Fashionscape, you know what I mean? Callisto legendary pet. If you don't have a legendary pet, I guess it's nice. Legendary pets are very useful because obviously they can pick up items for you. Very, very nice. But with the new event, you'll also be able to get one. So yeah, counters and player security improvements. Keck W. But no, in general, it's good that they're working on it. They're actively working on it, and hopefully it will be better. However, I might make a video on it in the future as well to talk about it in more detail. Account security, to a certain extent, is also your responsibility. If you click on a phishing stream, or if you don't have an authenticator and you get hacked, it's kind of your fault. Be careful. And Bodhi is not quitting streaming, or MMORPG or the RS guy, or Evil Lucario, or whoever. They're not quitting streaming, guys. And if they do, they probably have a tick mark next to it, which you can see on every platform. Extinction Grandmaster quest. Honestly, this was the first big quest that I've done on release. I have very fond memories of it. And I just, in general, thought it was a really, really good quest. I think it was a perfect balance between difficulty when it comes to fighting and when it came to puzzles and just, in general, storytelling. Great quest. If you haven't done it, make sure to do it. The puzzle in it is actually a lot of fun, and you can easily figure it out yourself. Unlike a puzzle we'll get into in a little bit. New membership and shop price changes. Inflation, we talked about it. It is what it is. It sucks, but nothing we can really do about it. Over the board, in most games, all the subscription prices actually went up. So not just a RuneScape thing, and it sucks. Spring Festival, which is a copy-paste of last year. It is what it is. I don't really mind these seasonal events, and I mean, you can put in development time to make a unique event every single year, but if it works, it works. It does what it does. They just made some new rewards. That's fine. Mobile Strike, I don't care for it. Patches, it is what it is. External fletching and fire-making training is honestly something that I do think was a good thing. I always like it when Jagex fills up gaps within skilling, and it obviously introduced the new arrows, which went perfect with the new bow that came out later on with obviously the Zamrak boss fight, and they're really, really powerful, also giving some use for your anima that you get from the Elder God Wars, and it was just really good. And I think it's a really fun, wonky RuneScape idea to just make it with the Zygamites or whatever they're called, and it's so weird cutting the hair and burning the hair and getting the dino eggs and hatching the dinos. Then when you hatch the dinos, you have to clean up their shit, and then you can actually make arrows. It's great. Mental health awareness, always good. The only promotion I ever buy within the year because it goes straight to mental health organizations, which I think is good. Obviously, another double experience is what it is. New Crowns of Loyalty of double experience continues. Also is what it is. Another yak track we talked about earlier. It is what it is. And then there is the Twilight of the Ghost Quest, which I think musically, sonically, and storytelling wise was incredible. But I really hated the puzzle because the puzzle really, to me, felt like it was just a brute force and you needed a guide for it. There wasn't really any logic to it that you could figure it out yourself like the other quests. That's the only downside. But in general, I think it was a good tie-up for the Elder God Wars storyline, because if you don't know, the Elder God Wars storyline is kind of ending right now and we're going back to a more grounded human storyline, like how we used to have back in the day, where you just were helping out humans instead of fighting gods all the time. And I think it's good to get into a new flow within the game and just go and move on to something new, something fresh, and see what comes from it. Tales of Pride, kind of same thing as mental health thing, very good, always should be in there, very good to support in general. And then the Zamrak Demons Invade, which obviously was the prelude to the Zamrak boss release, where it was an actual world event again, where, you know, demons would come into the map again and actually, you know, have an event that you can fight with all random people. Really always like world events. It feels really immersive, and I just really like them, and I really hope they do it more for big releases like this, so even people that might not fight on Zamrak do really feel like they're included in the new update. And it just, as I said, really improves the immersion, which was a good thing in my opinion. And then the beach event is very popular, everyone likes it. Dungeoneering Hall, easy dungeon experience, and obviously Zamrak the Lord of Chaos release, which I think with the Elite Dungeon and obviously the boss fight scaling up to Infinite Enrage is incredible. The drop rates obviously being a bit controversial due to higher enrages being not really more profitable. Well, profitable when it comes to comments, but not when it comes to uniques, which it is what it is. Obviously came with a free Death Week as well, but it was interesting to watch on Twitch with the first Death Rage, which you can see down here. It pretty much who can get the first 100, 500, 1000, etc, etc. I think it was interesting to watch. It's really good. It's awesome to just have events like this going on, competitions that are not tainted by MTX. And it's just really good. And I like the scalability, I like story mode, I like normal mode. There's something for everyone in it. And it is a really fun challenge to take on. And I think it's one of the best bosses within the game. Zamrak Fashionscape, no one cares. Free Death Week, extended, always good. And obviously they talked about deaths as well, which we'll get into just a second. There's also upcoming update. Get a Shot Ninja Strike. As I said, Ninja Strikes are always good. Summer Double Experience, which we're in right now. It was announced. Wilderness Reborn and New Quest. We talked about this in extent. I think the concept is good. The execution was poor. It is what it is. I don't know if they're going to learn from it, but they're going to add in content in the future to it as well. Maybe that can revive it and change my opinion on it. We'll keep posted on that. 300 million XP, million party is what it is. Double XP, same thing, same thing. But here it is, the upcoming updates, which I didn't even know they announced some of these things. Obviously, removal of double experience. Very, very, you know, yes, of course. Wilderness Zamrak themed yak track. Yak track, it is what it is. We talked about it. Death mechanic, cost reduction, and grand exchange. I did not know that that will come in autumn this year. I think that is really good. I think that's really going to change, especially the death mechanics, because right now it is a huge step for people to, you know, die tens and tens of times at bosses and having to use the Ring of Death and, you know, or not being able to use another ring and switch cape when it comes to rings and just people not wanting to PVM because they don't want to lose money. It sucks. And the Grand Exchange tax obviously will take out a lot of money out of the game. And obviously it will increase the cash stack to infinite as well, which hopefully will help with merging and no longer having to go to World 2 to trade from player to player. It is what it is. It is what it is. Removal of 300 million event, fresh start worlds, we talked about it. Wilderness events for skilling in combat, very curious to see what that is. Halloween event, it is what it is. Wilderness skilling update, also just we have to wait and see. I really hope it fixes things and makes it more relevant. The Smite crossover, really curious to see how that does, especially after the controversy of these fresh start worlds. Christmas event, max cash limit increase apparently is unknown. I would assume it would come with the Grand Exchange tax and death mechanics because they're gonna rework the entire Grand Exchange. So I would assume they would work that in as well. So I'm very curious why it's not included in there. out towards graphical rework of Daganov King pets, which I hate because I really like the new, I really like the old Daganov King pets, but I see it. I really hope it will be a toggle. We'll see it. But apparently the player avatar rework is still in the works. Really hope to see it. Made a video on that as well. But that's kind of everything. I just kind of really just wanted to go over all the updates to show you guys, at least in my opinion, that overall it was pretty decent. All the updates that we got this year and overall over the past few years. If you really just scroll down, and I was gonna make a video over everything, but I think that would have been too long. Last year was probably one of the best years in RuneScape, at least in my personal opinion. And obviously this year is, you know, shaping up to be one of them, obviously with the controversies. 2020 being a poor year when it was only just, you know, patch notes and quality of life improvements. But let's be honest, pandemic and stuff, so they couldn't really do much. And the years before that, even if you look at 2020, there are a lot of updates. 2019 was an incredible year as well, 2018 as well. So I'm always really confused about the consensus that, you know, people just say that there's nothing really much to RuneScape and that it's all just quality of life and all these other stupid updates. That's just really untrue in my personal opinion. And this year was really good so far, at least in my opinion, with some downsides. But look, not everything can be a shot in the rose, shot in the dark. I don't know, like, not everything can be perfect is what I'm trying to say. But if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section down below what your favorite update is, and leave a like as well. Subscribe if you're new, and my name is Jagex. I'll see you guys in my next video.